My name is Linda. I am 26 years old and I work as a kindergarten teacher. I live with my best friend Zoe. We have been inseparable since college. Every morning she knocks on my door and says, "Coffee's ready, you'll be late again." We share everything: clothes, food, secrets, even our silence. People often say we are like sisters, and that's what she's always been to me. 3 years ago, I met Adrian at a friend's wedding. He wasn't loud or flashy. He was kind. He looked at me like he actually saw me. We danced that night. He called me the next day and the day after that. Zoe was the first person I told. She screamed and said, "Finally, he's cute. I approve." She wanted every detail. We started dating. 2 years later, he proposed. Zoe cried harder than I did. She hugged me and whispered, "You got your forever." At the engagement, Zoe stood beside me, fixing my veil. Adrian stood on the other side, smiling. For a second, everything felt perfect. Then I caught Zoe looking at him a little too long. She smiled quickly and looked away. I told myself it was nothing. As the wedding got closer, Zoe got involved in everything. She called the decorator, the florist, even Adrian more than I did. Adrian said white roses look perfect. Adrian thinks this color suits you. I'd walk in and see them laughing together over plans. I smiled. These were my two favorite people. One night, she moved back in with me to help. I fell asleep first. At 2 a.m., I got up for water. Her door was half open. She sat on the bed, giggling at her phone. "Who are you texting?" I asked. She jumped, hid the phone. "Just someone from work. Go back to sleep." Her cheeks were flushed. I teased her and left. The wedding came. Zoe stood next to me in silver, fixing my veil. "You look beautiful," she whispered. As I walked down the aisle, Adrian smiled like I was the only woman in the world. Zoe cried behind me, holding my flowers. She hugged us both. "I told you it would be perfect." That night, I looked at our photos. Adrian had his arm around Zoe in almost every shot. In one, her head rested on his shoulder. I locked the screen and pushed the thought away. A month later, things changed. Adrian came home late. He laughed at his phone. He changed his password. "Why?" I asked. "Work stuff," he said. At dinner, his phone buzzed. He flipped it face down. "It's nothing." One night, I woke at 3 a.m. The bed was cold. I walked out and saw light from the balcony. He was on the phone, laughing. "Who were you talking to?" "Zoe," he said. She couldn't sleep. "Zoe?" I repeated. "Don't make it weird, Linda." We went back to bed, but something in me shifted. The next morning, I called Zoe. "Did you talk to Adrian last night?" "Yeah," she said after a pause. "About some wedding stuff." I didn't believe her. I said nothing. Little things piled up. His quick smiles at his phone. His shirt smelling different. Her voice once on speaker when he accidentally called me. I started watching more closely. One afternoon, I left work early and stopped at a cafe near his office. Adrian was there, with Zoe, sitting close, laughing, heads almost touching. I stood outside. My hands were cold. Then I turned and walked away. A week later, Zoe came over like nothing had happened. She brought cake, crossed her legs on my couch like always. "You look tired," she said softly. "Is everything okay?" Her nails were painted the red Adrian once said he liked. Another night, I pretended to sleep. At 3 a.m., he slipped out again. I followed quietly. Same balcony, same whisper. "I miss you," he said. "I can't, she's here." I pushed the curtain aside. He turned, startled. "Linda?" I walked past him without a word. The next day, I opened his laptop. The messages were right there. Pictures, plans, late-night talks. It wasn't new. It was old. Zoe, her laugh, his replies, their secrets. I closed the laptop slowly. My chest felt hollow. That evening, Zoe came again. She sat in my kitchen like nothing was wrong. "Some things aren't meant to last forever," she said softly. "How long?" I asked. "Since before the wedding," she said. No hesitation, no shame. The next morning, I packed a bag and left. No tears, not then. Weeks passed. People asked what happened. I just said it ended. Zoe moved in with Adrian. They didn't wait long. Now, every morning, I make my own coffee. I walk alone to work. Some days the silence is heavier than anything, but I keep walking. I still see couples laughing, best friends holding hands. I keep walking because betrayal doesn't always come from strangers. Sometimes it wears the face of the person who once called you sister.